Yo, this is Jay for Straight Smoke Gaming, and in today's video, we're going to be ranking all 32 NFL starting quarterbacks heading into the 2025 season. As you guys know, Orr posted his video of quarterback rankings a couple days ago. That'll be linked down in the description, along with all of our other positions. I believe we did a wide receiver, running back, and a tight end ranking, so if you're interested in any of those, go ahead and check those out. But let's get right into it. Starting off at 32, I have Tyler Shuck of the New Orleans Saints. The reason I got him here is because I'm not a big Shuck fan, first off, so there's that as well. He has had some injuries. He's a little bit older. And I really also don't know who's going to be the starter for the Saints. You know, new head coach, so this was kind of his handpicked guy in the draft in the second round here. But Spencer Rattler's also there. So it really just depends, who plays well. And I can't tell you who's going to be the starter because it's a new quarterback. He's going to look for different things. If I had to guess, though, I would imagine Shuck because that's the handpicked guy. At 31, I have Joe Flacco of the Cleveland Browns. Now, this is more so the Browns QB room, whether it's Watson, Sanders, Gabriel, Pickett, or Flacco. Part of the reason I have them at 31 is because I feel like every week is going to be a mystery as to who starts. They're really pretty much just throwing stuff at the wall, seeing what will stick. And if they find a guy that will, then I do think they will ride him out. But I do think that every quarterback in this room will get a chance, depending on who makes it out of camp. Via cuts and everything, but it's really going to be a revolving door at quarterback this year, in my opinion. At 30, I have Aaron Rodgers of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, newly signed quarterback, there was a need for him. I like the signing. I think Rodgers is still good. The reason I got him at 30 is because I just don't know how well he's going to play. You know what Rodgers is going to get you. He's going to give you a couple more games. I mean, he's not bad. He's not great anymore, but I just don't think he's really going to be the guy that can carry a team and do a deep playoff run. I think he's more so there for a mentor aspect to try to get Will Howard ready. But you know what Rodgers is going to give you nothing too good, nothing too bad. At 29, I have Russell Wilson of the New York Giants. Now you're probably asking yourself, Jay, why do you have Russell Wilson ahead of Aaron Rodgers? Reason being is because if Jackson Dart does take over the job, which I do think will happen at some point this year, I would rather have Jackson Dart over Aaron Rodgers. Jackson Dart, a lot younger, more mobile, good deep ball. I do think he will see the ball or see the time to play at some point here. It really just depends because if there's any sort of struggle, with Dable being on the hot seat, I don't think there will be any hesitation to make a QB change. At 28, I have Cam Ward of the Tennessee Titans. Reason I got Cam Ward so low, I haven't really seen him play. Once we see preseason, we'll get a little bit better of an idea, and then into the regular season. I don't think he's got to worry about being benched. Brian Callahan, I believe is the name of the head coach. He likes him, so I like that aspect. He's got a head coach that'll believe in him, but it's just a matter of weapons. He doesn't have a lot of guys to throw to. Sure, Calvin Ridley. Sure, you got Tyler Lockett. He's not what he used to be. So, he's all right, just not really in the best situation. At 27, I have Anthony Richardson of the Indianapolis Colts. Now, I'm not saying Richardson's bad, but just what I've seen of him, he's not lived up to where he's been drafted. Had some injury struggles, has a problem with turnovers. He's very, very good at athleticism, great at running the ball, struggles with accuracy, struggles with turnovers. So, really looking forward to seeing if he could turn it around this year because they did go in and bring in Daniel Jones. Now, Daniel Jones isn't the best backup in the world, but I do think they will make a change if it gets bad this year. At 26, Michael Penix of the Atlanta Falcons. Reason I got Penix so low, haven't seen much of him. He came in and played like the final, 2 or 3 games. He threw quite a bit of yards, 775 yards, 3 touchdowns, had 3 picks, so that sucks. It's really just going to be living through the growing pains here. I'm not willing to sit here and say I've seen something through 3 games that I liked, that I guarantee he's going to be good, or I really feel strongly about him being good. I haven't seen enough to know, so that's why I got him at 26. Rather play it safe than sorry, so, this could come back to bite me. At 25, I have J.J. McCarthy of the Minnesota Vikings. You might be asking yourself, why is McCarthy ahead of Penix? Reason being is I like McCarthy's spot more. With Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, Hawkinson, good run game. I like that spot more. I also like the head coach more. Kevin O'Connell, former Ram guy. Loved him when he was there. Hate that he left because now he's making another offense good that's going to end up competing with us. But I think J.J. McCarthy is in a good spot, a lot better than what Penix has. But same thing here. Can't rate him any higher because I haven't seen any film or anything like that. At 24, Justin Fields of the New York Jets. Now, I have Fields here because of what happened last year. He played well when he did play. Taking a look at those stats, 1,000 yards, 5 touchdowns to 1 pick. You would think this is a guy who should have started more games, probably over Russell Wilson. But something makes me wonder here. Why didn't they? Because Fields was playing good in Pittsburgh. Why didn't Fields ever get another chance starting? Why didn't they want to bring him back? I'm just worried about there's something that we're not seeing, so that's why I got him at 24. At 23, Drake May of the New England Patriots. Drake May, promising young talent last year, struggled a little bit, as you can see there, 15 touchdowns to 10 picks, not ideal, but this team was really bad last year. The line was bad, there was no weapons, the run game was bad, and they addressed really all of their needs along with getting a new head coach. So, now he's got weapons, he's got Diggs to throw to, Kyle Williams to throw to, Trayvon Henderson to run the ball, and the first-round pick, Will Campbell, is just going to make it easier on May. I look for May to have a much better season. At 22, Bryce Young of the Carolina Panthers. I like Bryce Young a lot. I can't really justify moving him up anymore, mainly because I haven't seen enough from him. He got benched last year. When he came back from being benched, played really well, and you can't dispute that. He was a top quarterback when he came back after being benched, but I want to see that done more. I don't want to take a small 8-game sample size and say that I think this guy's going to be good because, he did have a really bad rookie year and a bad start to last season. So I'm not going to sit here after 8 games and say I think he's going to be good. At 21, Trevor Lawrence of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence had an injury last year, took him out a couple games, but overall, I like Lawrence's situation. I think Travis Hunter's going to help him out well. I look for Brian Thomas to take the next step forward. And the run game, as long as Tank Bigsby plays like he did last year, maybe Travis Etienne could play a little bit better. They got a new head coach, offensive-minded guy. Should make life a lot easier on Lawrence. He was the head coach of the Bucs, and you go look at what he did last year at Baker. It was ridiculous, so I do think there's room for improvement for T-Law. At 20, I have Tua Tagovailoa of the Miami Dolphins. Now, this might be where I get some hate. Not a Tua fan. He gets hurt a little bit too much. He's on the smaller side, so I don't like that. Not really mobile either, and it does seem like when he tries to be mobile is when he gets hurt. Along with losing Jonnu Smith, I don't like that. They're signing Darren Waller. We've seen what Darren Waller was with the Giants. Who knows? He could surprise me, could prove me wrong. But overall, Tyreek Hill taking a step back. Jalen Waddle, we'll see what happens. I'm not too big on him, though. 19, Brock Purdy, also where I could get some hate. I'm not a Brock Purdy guy. I think he did well when he was not getting paid as much money because they were able to get guys like Deebo Samuel, a really good offensive line, and they were able to pay all these people. Now, he just got his contract. They lost a lot of guys in the offensive line. They got rid of Deebo. So now, Brock Purdy's going to have to do a little bit more than what he was doing. He's not going to have the weapons to bail him out, and I don't think Brock Purdy can do that. I think this is going to end up being a bad signing for the 49ers. At 18, Caleb Williams of the Chicago Bears. Caleb Williams had a pretty good season last year, not living up to first overall hype. They did get a new head coach, the best head coaching candidate there was this offseason in Ben Johnson, coming over from the division rival Lions. And, they got the weapons. They drafted Luther Burden, drafted Colston Loveland. They still got Roma Nunze, DJ Moore. I don't know what else to say. He's in a really good spot. There's room for improvement just based on last year. Can't justify moving him up any higher before I see anything. At 17, Sam Darnold of the Seattle Seahawks. Going over to Seattle from Minnesota. Going to be learning a new offense. I'm not really a fan of Sam Darnold. If Sam Darnold was really this good, wouldn't the Vikings have re-signed him? That's just the way I'm looking at it. But overall, he had a good year last year. Don't really know if that's so much Sam Darnold being good or he was in a good offense with a good head coach that gave him looks. We're going to find that out this year. Geno Smith was there, who had a good year last year, so he's not like he's jumped into a bad offense. Did lose DK Metcalf, though, so that sucks. 16, CJ Stroud of the Houston Texans. So, CJ Stroud's interesting. Really good rookie year. Struggled a lot last year. Not a lot. Still had a really good year, but just nothing what his rookie season was. I'm not big on C.J. Stroud going into this year. The offensive line was rough last year. The few pieces they had on offensive line, they got rid of. They lost some guys offensively, like Stephon Diggs. Who knows with Tank Dell? It seems like he gets hurt every year. So there is definitely going to be some downgrades on the offense. It'll be interesting to see how Stroud reacts to that and how he bounces back. At 15, I have Kyler Murray of the Arizona Cardinals. I think this is going to be a good year for Kyler Murray. I think by the end of this year, another year with Marvin Harrison learning, everything. I loved the Arizona Cardinals draft. They addressed the defense. I think with a better, improved defense, another year for Marvin Harrison, I look for the Cardinals to be good, a much more competitive team than what they were last year. And they were pretty competitive last year. And I also look for Kyler Murray to potentially have a chance of being a top 10 quarterback this year in fantasy. So I'm a big Kyler Murray guy this year. At 14, I have Bo Nix of the Denver Broncos. Bo Nix, good rookie campaign. Maybe struggled a little bit at the start of the season. Kind of really worked it out midway and through the end. Didn't look back. Ended up making a playoff run. It should be interesting here because they didn't really add the big wide receiver name that they were trying to add. They got Evan Ingram as another weapon, so I like that. That's another weapon for Bo Nix. But overall, Bo Nix is still pretty good. Good offensive-minded head coach. They drafted a rookie running back, added another weapon at tight end. So I think Bo Nix will have a good year. At 13, Dak Prescott of the Dallas Cowboys. Now, Dak, he struggles with injuries. I would like to move him into the top 10. It's hard with how much he gets hurt, though. If Dak has a healthy year, he's healthy, plays well. They just got Pickens. This is when he's healthy and he's balling out, he's easily a top 10 quarterback. The question is when he is healthy. He got hurt last year with a serious injury. This isn't the first time he's had a serious injury. It's happened years before. He's known to miss games. So when healthy, Dak Prescott is really well, but without him, the Cowboys just don't seem to function. At 12, Geno Smith joining the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, normally I would not have a first-year quarterback this high because he's learning a new offense. The problem is he's coming over from Seattle, where Pete Carroll used to coach. So I think this is good. I think this is a good fit. I think this will work out well. They just drafted Gentry. I think they're going to lean on Gentry on the ground. I look for Gentry to have a really good rookie year. I think Geno Smith's going to do just enough to still be good and help carry the Raiders to one of their better seasons in recent memory. At 11, Jordan Love of the Green Bay Packers. You need Love to have a better year than what he's been having. With the additions of Matthew Golden being the main one that I liked, I think that's good. The only problem is the receiving core is really young. I would have liked to seen a vet get signed, but overall, we know what Jordan Love is. He's a steady quarterback, dealt with some injuries last year, never really felt like he was 100% because I believe he got hurt in week 1. But overall, Jordan Love, he's a good quarterback. I look for him to have a good year. At 10, Matt Stafford of the Los Angeles Rams. Now, Matt Stafford's old. Not saying he's going to be in the top 10 much longer. But, if he keeps playing how he's been playing, who knows what could happen. I don't know how much longer Stafford's got, but Stafford continues to play like a top 10 quarterback. Look at those numbers. 20 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Interceptions are quite a bit, but 3,700 yards. The Rams were good last year. He helps this team stay competitive. At number 9, Jalen Hurts of the Philadelphia Eagles. I got Jalen Hurts ranked a little bit lower. Looking at these stats, I don't like him. Didn't even throw for 3,000 yards. Now, you might say, hey, look at what he does on the ground. Still, at that point, if you add, I believe it's like 650 rushing yards from last year, we're still at like 3,500 yards. So I don't like that. I would like for the numbers to be improved a little bit more. Now, this is a run-heavy team with Barkley and Hurts. I'm just not a Hurts guy. I don't like Hurts. I don't think he's the best passer. I think he's really good on the ground. That's why I still got him at 9, though. At 8, Baker Mayfield of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Taking a look at Baker's numbers, it's really hard to argue with this. If you wanted him to be higher, I wouldn't fault you. 41 touchdowns, 16 interceptions, 4,500 yards. Can't argue with that. The reason I put him at 8, though, is with the loss of the OC, now the head coach of the Jags. I'm interested to see how much that will impact the Buccaneers offense, along with like Chris Godwin injury. They did they drafted Ibuka, so that'll help. But overall, I'm worried about that coaching change at the offensive coordinator position. At 7, Jaden Daniels of the Washington Commanders. We've seen 1 year of Daniels, played amazing. I mean, he was the Rookie of the Year, made a run in playoffs, knocked out the Lions, I believe. If I'm remembering correctly, that's how it went. But what he does on the ground and in the air is ridiculous. This is a run-heavy team. Run first, whether it's quarterback or with Brian Robinson. And looking at what he still did through the air, I mean, 25 touchdowns to 9 picks, 3,500 yards. Can't argue that. Jaden Daniels is a stud and will probably end up being a stud for years to come. At 6, Justin Herbert of the Los Angeles Chargers. Now, Herbert, I know he gets a lot of hate, especially on this channel, from Orb Smoke. I don't know why he put him at 11. That's ridiculous. Big thing here is taking a look at that touchdown to interception ratio. 23 touchdowns to 3 picks. That is a 7-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio. You cannot argue with that. The best ability for a quarterback is not turning over the ball, protecting the ball. That's what Herbert does. And the next season with Ladd McConkey, I look for that team and that offense to take the next step forward. At 5, Jared Goff, Detroit Lions, 27 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, 4,600 yards. Goff's good. I got no problem with Goff. I loved him when he was a Ram. I hate that we moved on from him so quickly. I do look for Goff in the offense entirely. Take a step back with the loss of Ben Johnson, though. But I still think Goff will be good. He's got weapons. He's got guys to get the ball to, playmakers that'll help him with yards after the catch. Good run game that'll still help him in that offense. So Jared Goff at 5 seems fair. Number 4, I have Patrick Mahomes of the Kansas City Chiefs. Mahomes, still a really good quarterback in the league. Past couple years, just not really living up to that best title, I guess you could call it. Still not that bad of a year. 26 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, 3,900 yards. It would help if he did get a little bit of help with the receiving options. Travis Kelce isn't what he once was, and now that he's getting older. Rashid Rice got hurt. Xavier Worthy didn't live up to expectations in his rookie year. So depending on Rice's suspension, if he gets one, and if Worthy can take the next step forward, Mahomes should have a good year. At number 3, I have Joe Burrow, Cincinnati Bengals. We know what Burrow is. I mean, this is the guy who pretty much keeps the Bengals in all the games. Him and Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and that entire offense. Almost 5,000 yards. Not really almost. Closer to 4,900 than 5,000. But 43 touchdowns led the league. And touchdowns led the league in yards. 9 interceptions. I think this team would benefit more if they spent a little bit less on the offense, put a little bit more into the defense. Burrow wouldn't be relied on so heavy. I think they would have more success. But Burrow's good. At number 2, Josh Allen of the Buffalo Bills. Former MVP this year, even though I don't think he should have had it, taking a look at Lamar's stats. Lamar should have been the MVP, but can't dispute it. Josh Allen was the MVP. 3,700 yards, 28 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. That's good. Josh Allen's he's a guy that kind of struggles with turnovers a little bit as well. Didn't really have that issue last year, so hopefully that stays. When Josh Allen isn't turning over the ball and trying to play hero ball, the Bills are a much better team. At number 1, I have Lamar Jackson of the Baltimore Ravens. Like I said, these numbers a lot better than what Josh Allen's were. 41 touchdowns to 4 picks. He was second in the league in touchdowns. Threw for 4,100 yards. That's 6th in the league in yards, not including what he did on the ground. Lamar, I think, going into this year, is by far the best quarterback, on the ground and through the air. The numbers prove it. I mean, he had better passing numbers than Josh Allen. More touchdowns, less picks, more yards even. So, without a doubt, I think Lamar is the best quarterback heading into the season. Those are my rankings. Go ahead and comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you think I rated someone too high or too low. If you think that some of my reasoning didn't make any sense, I can further explain that in the comments. I like communicating with you guys. But like I said earlier, all of our other ranking videos going to be down in the description, so go ahead and check that out. We have them all done, all the offensive categories. So when it comes to this video, that's all we got. So if you enjoyed, please remember to like and sub for more NFL content, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.